Hello, my name is Derek from DerekHowardMarketing.com, and I want to show you behind the scenes of the 1010 formula. The 1010 formula is a private membership site, as you can see written here on the screen. It was started in mid-2012 by Chris and Susan and their partner, a business partner, Eric. The goal of the group is to learn how to take advantage of mPower network so that you're within 3 to 6 months able to enjoy a residual income, that means a repeated income of $2,000 per month or more even. You can only join the 1010 formula by invitation, and that invitation is only open to members of mPower Network who have joined via one of the 1010 formula existing members, such as myself. I would suggest the route is to join mPower Network through somebody like me, go through the initial training and familiarize yourself with your newly acquired, automatically produced mPower Network website, and then apply to the person through whom you've joined mPower Network as to obtain entry into the 1010 formula training group. It does mean that before doing so you must upgrade your mPower Network membership to inner circle level. Having done that, you will be allowed into this part, which you can see is you have to log in. Well, I've already done that, so I'll click onto what you see having logged in, and this is the membership home page. You have a fairly recent video here. It depends what's happened within the group recently. This happens to be Chris and Susan were in Costa Rica with one of the founder members of mPower Network. What I want to show you is the things here. One of the very useful aspects is that the training is given in a series of webinars. Originally there were 10 of them, and this is part of the explanation of the 1010 formula, but in fact they've been so successful and so enjoyable that they have continued and a few more. So on this webinar replays, each webinar was recorded so that it's available to all of us and to all newcomers to see each of the, I think there are now 13. Now you can see here that they cover right from the very beginning the setting up of the basics of mPower Network through these various titles down to the latest one, which was Lincoln, and this was given by Stephen Green, an invited guest into the membership who was co-hosted one of this webinar number 13 because he's a specialist in that subject. So he, as a service to Chris, Susan and Eric, gave his time to give this webinar. The webinars normally take the layout of you click into the webinar and the host and hostess will come on and say a few words and sort one or two things out, and then invite, if there should be one that week, a invited guest to speak, and there you can see either them or what they want to show on a whiteboard whilst they're talking to you and explaining their particular speciality or what the subject is being covered in this webinar. Afterwards there is a question and answer session. As I said, these have all been recorded, so you can go back and look into them at any time and as many times as you wish. One of the particularly interesting things about the first webinar, and one which undoubtedly you will go back to, is I'll click in here and show you. Yes, setting up the basics. Now, this recording is here. You can see you just click on to start it, and then it will replay. But underneath each webinar there are various things which are pertinent to the subject being discussed or taught in that webinar, and these are some of the links. One of the most important, and one which you will certainly need, is the basics, is the Aweber. For those of you who don't know, Aweber is what is called an automatic responder, so that when somebody visits your website, they're interested to learn a little more, they sign in a box giving their name and email address, and automatically that will go through to somebody like Aweber, and in that you yourself will already have set up a reply message thanking them for joining you and telling them what to do next, and giving them some information. You might even want to give out a book, a free booklet or whatever. This then, Aweber is capable of handling a whole series of messages afterwards quite automatically. So here we have a code which is part of the service provided by the 1010 formula. When you join Aweber and start to set up the things, you can enter this code, and the messages that have been provided for 1010 formula, given written out by Chris and Susan, will automatically load, so that you will have straight away what is now 23 messages, and these are set to go out. The first series go out. The first one goes out automatically straight away as soon as the people sign into that box and click submit. They will get the thank you email, and then the following day they'll have another one, and so on and so forth. The last few, in fact, are set 5 and 4 days apart. You can alter these settings where and if you want. The only thing you need to do is to, in fact, personalize each message, because it will start with something like, hello, this is Chris and Susan, and end with their name, and any links within those groups of messages will be back to their website naturally. But you will be easily taught how to change that so that you take full benefit from all of those 23 messages, which will go out, as I said, automatically, part of the Aweber. So here again it gives you Facebook groups which you may be interested in joining, and these were discussed in the number 1 webinar. And most of the webinars have got a little bits of data and useful information and links, etc., underneath them pertaining to that subject under discussion. We go back to the head. The next thing is resources. And these are various things, again pertinent to the subjects covered in the training. For example, in the Facebook you get a screencast and groups for further distribution, because Facebook is one of the things that they teach most heavily. There are various downloads which include these 2 PDF files, which you can, because it is suggested in this one particular webinar that you go into Facebook and start conversations with groups of people or individuals, and these give you some questions you can pose to get the conversation started and running. The other resources are down here, various images which you can use, including some logos and some banners which you may want to incorporate into any blogs you do, miscellaneous downloads, etc., etc. So I think, and then the last tab on here, relatively new, and these are some inspirational videos. There's one in here at the moment, but these will be added to as time goes on. This is a live web page, a website in fact, and is continually being added to when anybody comes across, particularly the team leaders, mentors, Chris, Susan and Eric. If they have anything to which they can come across and think may be of use to us members, they tend to put it onto this website so that we can download it or look at it at our leisure. So I think I hope that's given you an oversight of what is available within training, within the 10-town formula. But this is just the cold facts. In actual fact, the whole membership is so very, very welcoming. I can't express too highly how available the 3 mentors are. They have set up several Facebook groups that you can click in and join, where you can pose individual questions or find out most of us get stuck at some stage or another along either technicality or advice as to what to do next, and these are the places where you can hear, and you'll find that the members themselves reply fairly promptly and carefully, very freely offer their advice and hints, etc., and their own resources that they've discovered. And should the membership as a whole not be able to answer it, then one of the tutors, one of the sponsors, will pick it up, the question, and reply in full, complete detail. It is something which you, particularly if you're just starting out on the internet, you will find extremely helpful throughout your journey from zero to becoming somebody who's gaining time and money and pleasure from working on the internet. I do hope that you found this of interest, and as always, should you have any question whatsoever, please feel free to contact me, and I suggest you do so by my website, which is, I'll repeat again, Derek Howard Marketing, all one word, .com, and there's various ways to contact me directly from that site. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Bye for now.